the Fledgling Scholarship Award.
Now, a fledgling is what we call the baby member of POEM. POEM is the prophetic order of Mar Elijah, in which the company of prophets are the prophets who are trained under the master prophet. And so now, within the last 2 years, we've established a baby portion of it, if you will, or junior POEM. Let's call it junior POEM.
Right, because they're not quite babies.
They're not quite babies. They're much older than that, but they're not adults.
Younger than adults.
Yes.
Okay.
And so we call them fledglings. It's a period of training. Now, they're prophets already. As I said earlier, that the master prophet does not make prophets. Prophets are born. So they were born prophets. Now they're learning the art of prophecy. They're learning how to prophesy, when to prophesy. They're watching, they're looking. They're not speaking too much because they're learning. And so they're getting a hold of the technique, they're getting hold of the whole protocol of prophesying, and they're learning spiritual teachings from the master prophet.
And they can get really good at this. I mean, they can perfect what they already know.
Oh, yes, they can perfect it. They're good now. They're really good. But we know that once they move on in levels, yes, you do grow as with anything, just like school. You start out, in kindergarten, we expect you to know certain things by 5th grade. Well, we'll expect them to know certain things by the time they're 18. It's beautiful to see. And you see them bloom and blossom. It's wonderful.
Right, special,
yes.
gifted young men and women.
Yes, yes. Each and every one of them. So they're special. They're really special to the order. You know what? They're our future.
My mom always said that a true leader is always alone, and I'd rather be separated and destined for greatness, so to speak, than just kind of lost in the realm of everybody else. Join the group, and you learn from the master prophet very, very intimately, and then you minister to other people.
And with that, what have you been able to do? How have you been able to transform other people?
During the poem conferences, I've ministered to a lot of people, and I hope that they've just been blessed by what I've had to say, and it's made me a lot more confident and acute in my everyday life. I just pick up on things.
It's interesting because Mom told us that Bishop Jordan had prophesied when you were 7 months old that you had a face to be reckoned with.
I remember it like it was yesterday. We were in the sanctuary and I was holding her in my arms, and he just looked at her and just said, "She's got the look." And I walked away. I knew exactly what he meant, and it was for television and acting, and I hid that in my heart. And when she was about 3 years old, my husband and I took her down to a major talent agency in New York, and they signed her up on the spot. And she did commercials and had quite an acting career.
I trade you half my donut for half your cereal. You're a lie.
I guess I had that anointing from Bishop, and as soon as my parents heard the word, we went and got signed up with an agency on the spot, and it was just a nice brief period. I would like to get back into it eventually, actually.
How wonderful. And we've just learned that you're going off to college in September. And not just any old college, we're going to Harvard.
That's what I was thinking. So I've always had a tie there. It's always been an inherent kind of an undercurrent dream of mine.
I'm very proud of her, and I'm very proud of her not just because she's doing something that I did. I'm proud of her because she's doing it so much better than I did. She's just so much more confident than I was when I went to college. I feel that she's going to get so much more out of the experience. She's sure of herself, and she's eager and wants to get all that she can out of the experience. She already has that attitude going in. So I'm expecting great things from her, I really am.
So I'm already missing her just at the thought of her not being with us. But it's like the eagle has to let the eaglet go and be able to conquer their own and get what's theirs, what they deserve.
I can't think of any other school that would make me feel that way.
And what you want to pursue is?
Medicine, that's the plan right now. I'm thinking of going into public health eventually.
We'll be proud of her and rooting for her.
I'm sure you will.
And hoping that maybe she'll find a cure for something and help lots of people.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I'm just gonna wait and see what doors open, and I know it's gonna be God when it does.
Being a fledgling is great simply because of the fact that I can even be that much closer to Bishop and his lessons that he was trying to teach. It's taught me a lot, and I've learned from it. It feels amazing that I'm a fledgling, and I'm glad that I'm here at this point in my life.
He's been a part of the ministry since he was 5 years old, and it's just protocol for us to make sure that we get in line with what God has us to do for our lives.
Bishop Jordan being in my life and being able to have the opportunity to be in Zoe Ministries and learn from somebody that's just so important and full of knowledge and wealth and wisdom.
Bishop actually filled the void that Kevin was, had, and that void was having a male figure in his life.
It's just amazing, and I couldn't ask for a better father figure to have in my life. I honestly couldn't. No matter what I do, I hear that voice in the back of my head, and I ask myself, is this the right thing? Would this make Bishop happy? Would this make my mom happy, my grandmother? I would love to show them that I'm going to move on with my life and be very successful and make something of myself to make them proud, because at the end of the day, they would just love to see that, and I can always come back to them and look into them for further insight if I have to, and it makes me feel comfortable with where I'm going in my life and where I want to go.
One thing that Bishop Jordan says is that it takes a congregation to raise a child, and my son is a pure example of that, and I'm very glad for it.
My grades are very, very well. I'm on the honor roll, proud to say that.
It's been a long path, but today I'm very happy and I'm very proud.
And I trust that we will leave a legacy that our fledglings can stand on our shoulders, and the fledglings that come behind them, and see a brighter future and understand that we're in a race to move a community forward, a prophetic community forward, and understand that we cannot do it alone. We can't do it with just the present generation. We need our past, we need our present, and we need our future in order to have a complete age.
The Fledgling Scholarship Award. This year's Fledgling Scholarship Award recipients, Rachel Bird and Kevin Jett.